party harder. Our guest of honor is Chef and restaurateur Rahul Akerkar. Though he holds a master's degree in biochemical engineering from Columbia University, he started his culinary journey 35 years ago, working in many of New York's top kitchens. Over a 10-year period during the 1980s. He returned to India in 1989 and since then has been busy changing the way we eat. Known for setting industry trends with his creative, ingredient-driven cuisine and warm, attentive hospitality, Chef Akerkar's award-winning restaurants secured his position as one of India's first successful chef restaurateur. Among his many accolades, he was featured in Asia Week's survey of Kitchen Gods in 2001 and was at 28 on San Pellegrino's list of Asia's 50 best restaurants in 2013. More recently, he just won the Chef of the Year award at the Times Food Awards 2016 in Mumbai. He has been guest chef in several kitchens around the world, authored numerous articles, and frequently consults to the food and hospitality industry. I invite Mr. Rahul Akerkar to address our audience. It's indeed an honor to have you.
Hi. Thanks for getting me out of bed this morning. I just want to firstly congratulate you guys on being done with school. As I stand here looking out at all your faces, I see expressions of joy and fear, and I guess apprehension, confusion, certainty. I guess some of you are wondering whether you did the right thing by doing hotel management or culinary school. Some of you are wondering whether you did the right thing about pursuing a career in F&B. You're going to leave here. Some will want to join hotels. Some will want to join restaurants. Some will work for others. Some will try their hands at entrepreneurship and work for themselves or help other people set up their own places as a startup. So they're all different journeys, but they're all good. Okay? Last year, I did something that will impact the rest of my life. I quit what I was doing and I decided to start over. I walked away from the restaurant company that I built 18 years ago, a company that ran many successful restaurants, award-winning restaurants, internationally acclaimed restaurants. And I walked away from a brand that was inextricably linked with my own name and my own, success, and on which I built my life so far. So when Principal Bhuvan and Priya asked me to speak here today, I had to smile because I think the timing couldn't be more perfect. So I'd like to share with you a few things that you might take with you to help navigate your trip as you start off now on your life, regardless of what you choose to do. As a child, I stuttered, and all through my formative years, all through college. And what that did is it made me more of an observer than a partaker. And it taught me to step back, and it taught me to look, excuse me, it taught me to look at the world around me and also within me. Quite removed actually, and with objective eyes. My handicap at the time made me very vulnerable, and I learned that to truly observe, it's important to be able to do that without clouding what you see with external bias, and with a sense of humility and tolerance. it sort of really changes your perspective. And so when you're able to do this, observing is to then really understand what you see around you and the world around you, and it allows you to find the attention to detail in all that you do. So I've always been a pretty good observer. So my first thing to you is be a good observer. My wife and I, in '96, we decided to move to Bangalore. At the time, it was the fastest growing city in Asia. I knew I didn't want to live with my parents here in Bombay anymore. I had to find my own way. And it had a huge thriving restaurant bar culture. And we decided that we were going to make our life there. But when we got there and we started really going out and watching people and the way they consumed, it told a different story. Bars were heaving and people were out at bars drinking and eating, but when you really looked at them, there was no consumption. They would get a pitcher of beer and a plate of kebabs and just nurse the two all night long. Not good if you're trying to set up a restaurant business. And we started to think about Bangalore and what I was doing. And I was talking to a friend, and one evening, sitting in a bar, on the back of a napkin, we just sort of came up with this. At the time, prime real estate in Bangalore was about 50 rupees a square foot to rent, and Bombay was about 150 rupees a square foot. So the differential was 100 bucks a square foot, which for a 3,000 square foot place, roughly a 100-seater restaurant, give or take, you're looking at 3 lakhs a month. All right? The rest of the costs of setting up a restaurant, pretty much the same. Your cost of equipment, interiors, labor, that sort of stuff, pretty much the same. So your real differentiator, was rent. 3 lakhs a month, which 30 days is about 10,000 rupees a day. Split roughly, lunch dinner is 5,000, 5,000. 100-seater restaurant is 50 bucks a head, which is roughly the price of a Coke. So we said, can you extract a Coke more out of people in Bombay than in Bangalore? The answer was yes, and we packed up and moved back in 2 weeks. So what I'm trying to say is that don't overthink things, okay? You can't plan too far ahead. You can't cover all the bases, and life isn't a chess game, I mean, stuff happens. It's like not an empirical pursuit, in other words, and it's not driven by absolute causality. If I do this, then that will happen. It doesn't work that way. Okay? Life and all that you do is governed by irrational people. Okay? And it's fraught with all sorts of uncertainties. So keep it simple, but jump in. You have to engage. Okay? So you take a step and you see what's thrown at you, and then you take another step. But don't try and think 3 steps forward, because it's not going to work that way. At the same time, simplifying things does not mean trivializing them either. It means distilling the issues to understand their essence. And when you reduce something and you crystallize a complex issue to 1 or 2 key variables, I can talk about that because I studied engineering, and that's what it's all about. You break it down to a few simple determining variables, okay, on which everything else is dependent. So if you're telling yourself to stop sweating the small stuff, you can be sure that you're really bogged down with stuff and you're not thinking clearly. So you need to step back and you need to be that observer. Okay, so you distill the central issues from the muck and really simplify what you're doing. For me as a chef, it's like peeling the outer skin of an artichoke, all that thorny, tough stuff outside, and you come to the heart, to the kernel inside. So when you achieve that, you're truly paying attention to what counts, and you're really focusing on that one little detail that really matters. So keep it simple and find the detail in what you do. There's also a caveat here, okay? I was lucky to have been raised by parents who really encouraged and supported me no matter what interests I pursued, and I pursued many. Okay, theirs was really an unconditional encouragement with one condition though, that anything we chose to do, that we had to give it our all and be the best at it. So after all the education, if I chose to be a plumber, they had no problem with that. I just had to be a damn good one. And it was the same thing with if I was going to be a scientist or anything else, they didn't care what I did with my life, but just to give my all to it and to be the best that I could be at it. So, you know, I was also taught that never take myself seriously, but take what I did seriously. And that's something is very important for all of you too, as you start out. Don't take yourself seriously at all. Have fun, have a blast, but really take what you do seriously. Okay? Also, as a graduating class and people starting out in the F&B industry, I want to say that there's no substitute for hard work, okay, and the experience that you get from years of practicing your craft. You do not become a chef in 2 years after having worked a couple of restaurants after you leave here. Okay, it doesn't work that way. And the same with the hotel industry, or actually, quite frankly, anything else that you do. I worked over 10 years in several types of restaurants under several chefs, different cuisines, different styles of operations and stuff, before I even dreamt of thinking I'd one day open my own place. So you know, it takes patience and a lot of time if you're going to learn to do it right. So you really need to sweat the small stuff on that, and you need to embrace those details because those are the things that come from experience and time. And you need to go that extra mile every time that you do something if you're going to do it well. You know, ours is not an industry of mediocrity. You can't say chalta hai and, you know, sort of let it go. If your heart's not in what you're doing, okay, service is not easy because remember, you work when everyone else plays. Okay, and that's not always easy to do. You know, your friends like, you know, let's go out for a beer or let's do this, or no, I have to work, I've got to get things going, and that's always tough to do. So if your heart's not in it, my suggestion to you right now as you walk out these doors later is find another job, because you will never be successful in what you're doing if your heart's not in this industry. Yeah? So pour your heart into everything that you do. In the restaurant business, as you know, we're always getting ready for service, right? We always do our mise en place, which is French for set in place. It's to have all your ingredients ready before service so that, you know, when you start cooking and the order comes in, it's easy to crank out the dish. It's preparedness, right? You visualize your end goal, which is the finished dish, okay, and therefore you visualize the entire process and the journey that you take to get to the end, okay. You're ready to cook when that order comes in because you've really thought out and you've done your mise en place. So preparedness, it's a good thing, but it doesn't always guarantee a successful outcome. It doesn't always mean that you have a smooth journey, okay, because, you know, what it does actually is to help you focus on the larger picture, which is the destination, okay, rather than having to micromanage every little thing along the way. So when the proverbial, shit hits the fan, and it will, okay, restaurants do get busy, okay, you know, there is pressure, things will happen. It's better to have that toilet paper near at hand than to have to run around looking for it afterwards, all right? So the thing is that, you know, do your mise en place. Be prepared, but be ready for anything that that life throws at you.